Okay, so I've been so excited to make this video for you. So today I wanted to share a recipe with you and also talk about the benefits of cooking with blessed salt, or otherwise known as exorcised salt. So if you take salt to a priest at a traditional parish, there is a blessing, exorcism prayer that can be said over the salt, and then you can bring it home and start cooking with it. And if you've watched any of Father Ripperger's spiritual protection or Sacramentals videos, he talks about how blessed salt, exorcised salt, can be used around the home for spiritual protection, and he encourages you to cook with it just because it can give you a spiritual protection. And so I try to use it every day. So what I do is, from Costco, I buy this big container, and then what I'll do is just put it into smaller containers just so it's easier for me to just sprinkle into the food while I'm cooking or at the table. And yeah, so it's this tub has lasted me for already a few years, so it's great. And something else that you can pair with this meal, if you want to make it like extra special for Christmas, every year there's a special blessing that you can have for wine. I could pair this meal with a blessed wine for Christmas to make it extra special. But don't worry if you don't have any blessed wine. So the day is coming up again on December 27th. So just after Christmas, make sure you have a few wine bottles on hand to bring with you, because after the traditional Latin Mass, they will say a special blessing for the wines. And yeah, so then you can pull them out for special occasions. And so I'll give you an example today of one of my favorite recipes, and I'm excited to get started. Before starting anything, put your oven to preheat at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. So what I like to do first is line the baking sheet with aluminum foil and then a sheet of parchment paper, because it makes the cleanup so fast and easy, and I'll show you at the end what I mean. Next, I drizzle on some olive oil just right onto the parchment paper, and then next is I'll get out the salmon, and for my family, like just about 2 pounds is a good portion size for us. And then just keep putting the salmon and getting some olive oil all over it just makes a big difference. Next, it's time to put some blessed salt on it, and for the salmon, I'll sprinkle it very liberally. So you think you're putting off, and I usually end up, from experience, now I've kind of have a feel for just putting a good amount. And then I follow it up with like this lemon pepper seasoning from Trader Joe's, but you could even skip it. I've done that several times. But what's going to be essential after this is the lemon and the butter. And half a lemon is plenty of juice, so that's all I do. And then I just pour it on right onto the salmon. And then here is one of the most important steps, is then putting the Kerrygold salted butter. So this makes a huge difference. I've tried it sometimes without the butter, and it just wasn't as moist and flavorful. And the salmon recipe as is keto friendly, and for paleo you would just swap out the butter for ghee. Once the oven is done preheating, then I'll just stick the salmon in and put a timer for 20 minutes. And while that's cooking, I'll work on the salad. This sweet kale salad from Costco is really good, and it comes in a twin pack, but I've tried their other salads like the Caesar, and it's also really good. And if you're doing keto or paleo, I would just omit this dressing. What you could do instead is make an easy vinaigrette with just some vinegar and some olive oil and some salt, and that comes out really good. And if it's just one or two in the family that are following the dietary restrictions, what you can do is just put a handful aside of the veggies and then mix the rest in with the dressing. And the time goes quickly. The salmon is all done. The table is set, so now it's just time to serve. And the salmon, you'll see, just cuts so easily, and it's really delicious. So if you cut the salmon after it's cooked, the skin cuts so easily. It's much more difficult to cut it before, but for presentation purposes, if you want that clean cut, that should be done before. But for me, my kids don't worry about it, so I'll just cut it like this, and it cuts just super fast and easy. And here it is, the salmon and the salad, and then I just have the kids help me to serve. So here it is, and I'm gonna show you proof that even my pickiest eaters will eat the skin of the salmon. So here is Lucia taking a big bite, no problem. She really likes it. All the kids eat it, and it's really good because it has lots of DHA. And last but not least, look at how easy the cleanup is. That parchment paper and just in case with the aluminum foil made it so easy to clean up. So I thought I would throw in this deleted scene. It was just, I was mentioning Father Ripperger says in his spiritual protection talk about cooking with blessed salt, and it's kind of interesting what happened. They used some of that in the food, and that there were like 3 individuals that he had been concerned with having some oppression or things like that. Actually, those 3 people got really sick after eating food with it. So I don't know, we haven't got sick, thankfully, but I think it just provides a level of protection. And then also, not only in food, you can use the salt to, you can put it around windowsills and doorways. So I won't get too much into that here, but I'll link those 2 videos below just so you can learn more if you want to find out more about just this is one sacramental, but there's so many more that you can be using. And if you happen to hear birds chirping in the video, that is Piolina and Buddy, are 2 parakeets. Thanks for watching.